all, voting is not just showing up. It's having the right paperwork, even when names are hard to spell, their names may have changed, or may not match across documents. For some Missouri voters, that's not just inconvenient, it can be confusing, difficult, and sometimes unrealistic. And let's face it, if you put up a barrier and you get frustrated, you're gonna stop. But I want to remind you guys, don't get frustrated. These rules that are changing, fight their bureaucracy with bureaucracy. If they ask you to fill it out in the black pen, you fill it out in the black pen, you can find. If they tell you they only want it in triplicate, copy machines are easy to find. So, I'm going to ask you, if you can stick around for just a couple minutes and listen to these ladies tell you about voting. Can you do that? I also want to remind you that these are not paid actors. These are the kindest, fun, most wonderful people you will ever meet. And some of them are a little scared because this is a big crowd. So, I want to remind you, not paid, and they're doing this out of the kindness of their heart to inform you. So, without further ado, the We Stand United Missouri Suffragists.
I love your Missouri, the showing state. I figured voting meant showing my driver's license. Maybe a utility bill? That seems reasonable. But now I'm hearing that to vote, I might need proof of citizenship. So maybe I'll bring my state-issued birth certificate?
Don't forget, you also will need your state-issued marriage certificate, because if your name changed, they'll want proof of that too.
And if your documents are as old as mine, you might need some extra paperwork.
What if all of your records are online? Do screenshots count? So, let me get this straight. To vote, I need my birth certificate, my marriage license, my real ID, maybe a passport, maybe my grandma's family Bible. And if they ask for my kindergarten report card, I'm in real trouble. I thought voting meant showing up, not showing paperwork.
And this joke gets a laugh every time. But the conversation about voting rules in America is real. And across the country, lawmakers are debating proposals that would require documentary proof of citizenship just to register to vote. Supporters say the goal is election security, but here's what the data shows. Using the records from the Heritage Foundation's own database over more than 2 decades, from 1999 to 2023, there are only 77 cases of non-citizens successfully voting. Out of more than 1 billion ballots cast, that is about 0.0000764%. Let that sink in. In other words, statistically, it's microscopic. So many Americans are asking a different question these days. If the problem is that small, why make voting harder for millions of eligible voters?
I work elections here in Missouri. Every year I see the same thing. People walk in nervous. They want to make sure they're doing everything right. They ask, am I in the right place? Do I have the right ID? Most of them are just trying to do the right thing, and they're concerned. They're concerned that they do it right. And they always say, I'm nervous about this. And we want to make it so that it's not like taking a test. Everybody should be able to vote.
When I married 30 years ago, I took my husband's last name. I know, I look young. Like millions of women have done, my birth certificate says one name and my license says another. My voter registration says the same name that I've used my entire adult life. So if someone suddenly tells me that those names don't match, am I supposed to prove who I am all over again after 30 years?
I'm 82 years old. And I know what everyone of you is thinking. I look good for my age. I voted the first time in 1962, and I have voted every election since. But these documents they're talking about, well, some of them go back decades. Or they're buried in some boxes somewhere, and some of them I know are gone for good. Replacing them isn't that simple. I don't know nothing about that interweb. It takes time, it takes effort, and it costs money. A passport can cost up to $200. I don't have that kind of money. I'm on a fixed income. I got medicines to pay.
Yeah.
And, you know, copies of records, well, that costs money too. So if I have to pay to get the documents that I need to vote, that's a poll tax. Just think, after 60 years of voting, you folks in Washington are telling me I gotta prove I belong here?
I'm voting in my first national election this year. My generation grew up hearing that voting is how democracy works, that it is our voice and our responsibility. But when we hear about the new barriers and complicated rules, it makes us wonder, why make it harder for people to participate?
Right.
America has wrestled with this question before. Who gets to vote and who decides? There was a time when women could not vote. There was a time when Black Americans were blocked from the ballot box. There was a time when people were told, you don't belong in our democracy. But every generation of Americans pushed that door open wider. Women fought 70 years for the vote. Civil rights leaders marched, bled, and sometimes died to protect it. And every time the right to vote expanded, America became more democratic. The question today is simple. Are we opening that door or closing it?
So today we ask a simple question. How do we protect election security without putting new obstacles in front of eligible voters? Because those obstacles don't fall on everyone equally. They fall on married women whose names have changed, on seniors searching for documents from decades ago, on young voters just beginning their civic journey, and they fall on people already facing barriers, people struggling to make ends meet, who may not have the time, money, or access to track down paperwork, on LGBTQ plus Americans whose legal identity may not match older documents, and on people who were adopted or separated from original birth records, who may not have easy access to original documentation at all. For them, this isn't just an inconvenience. It can mean being shut out of the voting process altogether.
Here in Missouri, we call this the show me state. And that means something. It means we believe in common sense. It means we believe in fairness. And it means democracy works best when people can participate.
Because democracy works best when the process is simple.
If you're eligible to vote, you should be able to vote.
eligible to vote, you should be able to vote.
Say it with me again. If you're eligible to vote, you should be able to vote. In the Show Me State, we believe democracy should be shown in the voting booth.
Now, I need all of you to repeat after me. Protect our vote! 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 Protect our vote!
We like to make sure that we inform you about stuff, so I'm going to introduce my buddy, Dennis Big. Now, Dennis is a writer, a lecturer, and a local. Hi, babe. He's also my treasurer. You're going to hear about that in a minute. After a career in wildlife diversity conservation, he became a respected voice in Missouri and nationally on protecting endangered species, wildlife habitat, and climate adaptation. The current threats to democratic institutions have compelled him to step forward once again. Hi, Dennis. So nice to see you. Today, he speaks out to defend the democratic principles that make conservation, community, and civic life possible, including the fundamental right of every citizen to have a fair voice in our elections. Now, how do we get a fair voice in our elections? We vote! Amazing! All right, Dennis. Did I lose my sound? Lost my sound there for a second. So, Dennis, you're in charge for a minute. Okay.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for being here today. Real patriots. Awesome to see you. I got this newspaper article from Thursday, October 31, 2024. It was a commentary by Peggy Quince that said, "What kind of America do you want?" I'm gonna read you the opening lines. On November 5th, in elections around the country, we will determine whether the United States of America will continue to be a democratic republic or whether this country will give up its freedoms and embrace authoritarianism. Well, now you know. Because here we are.
I don't know where number 3 went. So here's number 2. There you go.
Today we stand before Thomas Jefferson to say, this is not who we are, this is not who we want to be, we're not going to stand there. We stand united in the right to fight for democracy. I'm called here today to say a few things about voters and voters' rights. Free and fair elections and the right of every citizen to vote. Something that you do know, the right to vote is an essential element of democracy. Voting rights are the legal and constitutional protection that citizens need in this political world. In this divisive political world, we have to maintain the right to vote. I went back to read a little bit of history about voting rights in America. And it makes you uncomfortable because you realize every step of the way we've had to fight for the right to vote. Citizens have always had to fight for the right to vote. 1922, what happened? Turns out women are citizens. In 1922, the Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, upheld the right of women to vote. And yet, in this administration, the SAVE Act would require unreasonable proof of citizenship for female voters. And some religious leaders say it's time to return women to home and stop women from voting. We must fight. 1870. Turns out African Americans are citizens. In 1870, the 15th Amendment granted black men the right to vote. soon to follow every manner of refusing access to voting and voting locations. So heinous were the years followed that in 1965, we had to pass the Voting Rights Act of 1965 to eliminate the legal barriers that made difficult voting or impossible for Black Americans, men and women. We must fight. It's humbling every time when I stand before Thomas Jefferson. He said, a well-formed electorate is a prerequisite of democracy. In this time of us versus them, of rampant misinformation, of blatant lying to us from our legislators, a well-formed electorate is no easy task. The newest challenge to free and fair elections in Missouri is the redistricting led by the governor. Are the new maps fair? No! Is the Secretary of State, Jenny Hoskins, acting with fairness and integrity as our elected official? Hell no! We must fight. Rather than deliberate that here and today, I'm going to say, what if the problem isn't district boundaries? What if the problem is that Missourians keep electing the wrong kind of people to power? A curious thing about the electorate in Missouri, citizens are actually quite progressive in our views, our values, and what we vote for. Missouri citizens want a livable minimum wage. They want paid family leave. There's broad support for public education. And we know women's health is a private matter. Our problem is that a great number of those Missourians elect politicians who willfully ignore the will of voters. They promote an agenda that's 100 degrees opposite of what we voted for. They brazenly promote narratives that serve their own interests. That's the problem. The solution, of course, is to replace every darn one of them. Replace it. We have some of those future state representatives with us today. Suzanne Luther, District 58 here in Jefferson City. Becky Kroll, District 59 in rural Polk County. Tracy Back, District 61 in Osage County. And Bethany Mann, U.S. Congress District 2. Another quote from Thomas Jefferson that will make you uncomfortable, and it should. The government you elect is the government you deserve. Well, we deserve better. Who's going to make that happen? The people here today. We must fight. Thank you.
As Executive Director of Beacon, formerly known as the Missouri Family Health Council, Michelle is leading the charge to ensure that health care is a human right. Let me repeat that, because I think that this is going to be very important for everyone to hear, and I want to make sure that you hear it. Health care is a human right. No matter your zip code or your state, my rights as a woman should not depend on who the governor is of the location I'm at. That means I should have autonomy in Illinois, in Alaska, Alabama, Arkansas, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Georgia, Florida, Iowa. All of them, all the way down to Washington and Wisconsin. I should have rights in every state. All right, now, I'm sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent. Those are usually for math. I'm sorry. So, Let's give a warm and loud welcome to Michelle Trupiano.
Hi! Look at all you beautiful people! My name's Michelle. I'm the Executive Director of Beacon Reproductive Health Network. But more than that, I'm a Missourian. I live here just down the street in Jefferson City. I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, I'm a wife, I'm a neighbor, and I believe deeply in the power of community. So look around. This is what community looks like. And we are here today because we all believe in something simple and fundamental. There are no kings in Missouri. There are no kings in this country. And we will not be ruled by politicians who think they are above the people. This is a democracy, and the people have spoken. We believe that everyone, no matter who they are, where they live, or how much money they have, deserve access to health care. Not as a privilege, not as a bargaining chip, but as a basic human right. And this includes our fundamental freedom to make decisions about our own bodies. The freedom to decide if and when to have a child. The freedom to access contraception. And the freedom to get the care you need without delay, without shame, and without political interference. Because let's be clear, healthcare and bodily autonomy are inseparable. You cannot say you believe in freedom while controlling people's bodies. You cannot say you support families while denying them the care they need to make decisions for themselves. And you cannot claim to represent the people while inserting politics into the most personal, private decisions of their lives. At Beacon, we fight for that freedom every single day. We work with health centers across the state to make sure people can get the care that they need with dignity and respect. We run programs like free emergency contraception, which I know many of you here are part of that, and we fight for policies that expand access and don't restrict it. Let me tell you, this is personal. For over 25 years I've been doing this work, and I've listened to Missourians across the state tell me their stories. Stories of driving hours just to see a doctor. Stories of choosing between medicine and groceries. Stories of being denied care because of who they are, where they live, or decisions they've made about their own bodies. Stories of people being forced to navigate unnecessary barriers, delays, and political red tape in moments that should be guided by compassion and medical expertise, not ideology. Stories of doing everything right and still falling through the cracks. And I'm here to tell you, this is not inevitable. This is a choice. Our leaders are making choices every single day about who matters. And right now, they are choosing the wealthy over working families and political control over personal freedom. That ain't right. They're not just ignoring the will of the people, they're actively working to override it. They are inserting themselves into decisions that belong to patients and providers. They're restricting access to care that Missourians have made clear they want and need. And they are deciding that they know better than you about what should happen to your body. That is not leadership. This is overreach, and we will not accept it.
No more!
They're also pushing tax schemes that line the pockets of the rich while stripping resources from our communities. And when they do that, they're stripping resources from healthcare. This means more hospital closures, more clinic closures, and more people left behind. Again, this is not leadership, this is abandonment. And we will not accept this. Because we know Missouri could be better. We know Missouri should be better. A place where you can get health care in your own community. A place where your zip code does not determine your life expectancy. And a place where no one has to choose between their health and their paycheck. A place where care is guided by science, compassion, and respect, not politics. And a place where people, not politicians, decide what happens to their bodies, their families, and their futures. Where reproductive freedom is protected, where bodily autonomy is respected, and where the will of the people is honored, not overturned. This is the Missouri we are fighting for. And let me be clear, we are not asking for permission. We are demanding better. We are demanding a government that reflects the will of the people, not the power of the wealthy. We are demanding leaders who trust us, not control us. We are demanding freedom. We are demanding dignity, and we are demanding health care. Because there are no kings here. So remember, we are the power. We are the people, and together we are unstoppable. So let's go win a Missouri that we deserve. So thank you for being here.
Okay, so this is Britt Geiger. She is the matriarch of the Geiger family, residing in the land of Rolla, Missouri. She is a local mother working with good people to do good things. Currently, she's creating a living example of what art and love and magic look like for a community centered on collective care. She spends her time with silly gooses. Does that mean there are serious gooses, Britt? There are serious gooses. Okay, good. And she has hope for humanity. So, without further ado, Britt.
Hi. We're going to whisper peace, love, and magic over you before we get started. Sorry, your guys' energies are incredible, but I need to slow mine down. So you are not worried about what is going to come next. I will tell you now. I am going to give you an introduction on who I am. Then, I'm going to tell you about how I am living the best year of my life. After that, I'm going to tell you about how last year I lived the worst year of my life. When we're done with that, we're going to speak hope over one another. And then I brought my diary, but I'm not sure if I'm brave enough yet. And then we will say goodnight, and I will pass the microphone off, and that will be our time together. I am going to sit because I have a lot to tell you, and I'm anxious, and I don't want to give you that energy. I'll sit by my friend Hadley. Okay. My name is Britt. Hi. I am a matriarch in the Geiger family. We live in Rolla. It's about an hour and 15 minutes just down this road. I've lived there almost my whole life. I lived in Kansas City for 12 beautiful years, but otherwise I've been in Missouri the whole time. People like to ask me what I do for a living. It is my least favorite question. I live for a living. But if you're wondering how I pay my American Express, it is slowly and as a humanitarian. I have a degree in humanities and social sciences from the University of Missouri, Kansas City. I share my life with a very attractive man named Andrew. He is our serious goose. Actually, if you guys turn around and look towards that statue and say, "Hi, Andrew," and wave, he has my social media. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Andrew. Andrew has a political science degree from Oklahoma State University, go Pokes. And he studied constitutional law at DePaul in Chicago. He has what I consider the most important job in the world. He stays at home with our 3 children. We have 3 divine children. They are like seriously beautiful, like these little cute. We get stopped all the time because they're that cute. I have Eloise, who is 7. She is an artist and she will stand worlds that you guys will walk in. I have Elton, who is 4, and he's the sweetest thing in the whole world, but he is a thunderstorm in a teacup. So Andrew and I are working on getting him out of the teacup. She says he needs a bigger cup, Andrew. We'll write that down. Then we have Una. Una's my wild one. She is 2, but she will turn 3 on Easter. So if you remember our time together on April 5th, don't be afraid to whisper in your head, "Happy birthday, Una." She will feel it. My Una is going to do something in this world that I cannot yet dream. That is how incredible this child is. That is how much I believe in my children. That is how much I believe in my husband. That is how much I believe in myself. And that is how much I believe in the men and women who surround our lives. I think my daughter will do something so big I can't even fathom it. It's that good. That's how much I trust the people I live with. That concludes the introduction portion. We're going to move into the best year of my life. I am living the best year of my life, and I know that stings for some of you to hear. But when you remember, last year was the worst year of my life. I didn't think 2026 would come. There were days last year that I didn't know if I was going to make it, if this country was going to make it, or literally this world. I literally thought this world was going to end last year. It was horrible. It was the worst year of my life, and I am confident in saying that because no other year is welcome to be that bad in my life. I will not let that happen again. But this year is the best year of my life. Because this year I chose for it to be. I decided I was not going to have the second worst year of my life right after the first year of my life. So I was going to try to go the other way. The best year of my life. It took about 9 weeks to actually stick, to believe it. But this is the best year of my life. Thank you. When I wake up with the sun. I have a flip phone, it doesn't have an alarm, I actually don't know. I wake up with the sun, I hear the birds, I smell my daughter's hair. It smells like Johnson & Johnson. And it's not until those senses return to you that you realize grief took them from you. That is why this is the best year of my life. On to the worst year of my life. My job here today, I forgot to tell you guys, oh my gosh. I'm supposed to give you hope. Okay, I'm gonna try to give you hope, so this is my best attempt. I want to tell you about the worst year of my life, but I'm here to give you hope, so that doesn't make sense. I'm going to tell you how I got out of the worst year of my life. I have never shared this with someone. I do not know if it will work in your life, but I know it worked in mine. And if you are where I was, I am giving you what I have and saying, try this. So this is the worst year of my life. How I got out of it. There are 3 steps. Step 1. You guys might like it. Get in community. That's step 1. When you're living the worst year of your life, you do not want to be told to get in community. You don't like your neighbors, you don't trust people, you don't know what conversations you have, you don't want to be told to get in community. But that's step 1. I started by shopping local. I made a game out of it. I would shop as local as I could. My husband was such a trooper. There was a whole month I made him drive 30 miles to go grocery shopping because I was like, we're not spending a single dollar anywhere I don't like. And we just got better and better and better at it, and now it is not a game, it is our life. Step 2, you have to observe. If you want to get out of the worst year of your life, you have to learn to stop worrying about what's coming or anxious about what has already happened. You have to observe. I did this by looking for butterflies. Then I went bird watching. I bought Where's Waldo books, I Spy books, anything to get my brain off of worrying what was happening this way or what had already happened. I just had to be present with my children in the moment. I needed my brain back if I was going to do any kind of good. Observe. Step 1, we have get local. 2, step 3, this one's important, don't go out of order, it's unplug. You have to start unplugging from the things that do not make you feel good. You will not be able to move forward if you are continually consuming that. Step 3, unplug. I started with a day, then 3 days, then a week, then 2 weeks, then a month. Give your brain a break so you can move your body forward to do something good. Okay. That is my time with you. I'll read you my diary another day.
She is a tireless mother of 5. Hang on. I'm going to ask this question really quick of the crowd. Can you give me 1 second? Ladies, my mama had 8 babies. She gave birth to legends. I was the last one, so there you go. Ladies, and anyone who's had children, if you have more than 1 child, put your hand up. If you have more than 2, keep your hand up. We're going to skip ahead a little bit. If you have 4 children or more, there's still some hands up there. Now, Jenny, you got 5. And she looks like she's 12. Okay, Jenny has 5 kids, which means she has 5 spirits going into the world. And these spirits are just like her, I guarantee it, because she is the kindest and smartest person. And of those ladies and gentlemen up here who have more than 5 kids, I don't know how you do it. I have a dog. And I am so tired all the time. But Jenny, thank you for raising 5 glorious humans. And thank you for your work with Respect Missouri Voters. I'm going to turn this over to you. I know you're going to talk quick. You're going to say a lot. Here you go.
She is correct. I grew up on the East Coast, and apparently talking fast is a thing we do. I'll try and keep it regular speed. Hello, Jefferson City! Welcome out here today. I'm Jenny Loomis, and I am a volunteer with Respect Missouri Voters. And I'm here with you today because, like you, I believe in something fundamental. In America, we the people hold the power.
Yes.
Here in the state of Missouri, we have an awesome power called the Citizen Initiative Petition. I know it's a mouthful. For 117 years, it has allowed everyday Missourians to stand up and vote for change when politicians ignore the will of the people. And they do. Respect Missouri Voters is a grassroots organization that exists solely to keep power in the hands of voters by preserving and strengthening the Citizen Initiative Petition. We are doing this by getting an amendment on the ballot this year that stops politicians from overturning the will of the people. For decades, our freedom to petition the state has been under attack. In the last 16 years alone, legislators have overturned the will of the people 7 times. Just last year, the legislature overturned our votes for paid sick leave and reproductive health care. In prior years, they have overturned laws we passed against corruption, gerrymandering, and animal abuse. I have a question for you. Are you tired of politicians trying to take your power? Me too. Currently, the fundamental right of Missouri citizens to petition their government is at risk. Whether we keep that right depends on regular people like you and me showing up. Do you want voters to be more powerful than politicians? I do too. The Respect Missouri Voters campaign is about one simple idea. The people of Missouri should have the final say on our laws. Not politicians who ignore us or lobbyists who don't work for us. Voting is how we make our voices heard. The Respect Missouri Voters Amendment will defend the will of the people and strengthen our voices by doing 3 important things. 1, it requires clear and fair language on our ballots so Missourians know exactly what we're voting for. 2, it preserves our 117-year-old freedom to petition and prevents politicians from making it even more difficult. And 3, it makes it harder for politicians to change or undo the things we, the people, have already decided. If this is something you support, we need your help today. We have to get the Respect Missouri Voters ballot on the amendment this year because we may not get another chance. The legislature has already introduced Amendment 4, which you'll see on a ballot this fall. They're calling it Protect Missouri Voters, deliberately borrowing our Respect Missouri Voters language to confuse the people. Don't let them fool you. They are trying to make it impossible for future citizen-led initiatives to qualify for the ballot or to pass in a vote. We only have 22 days left to gather signatures. We will win by pounding the pavement and getting ink on paper. Thousands of volunteers showing up together day after day. This is not like an online petition that usually goes nowhere and does nothing. This is a legal document only registered Missouri voters can sign. These petitions go to the Secretary of State to be verified and have the power to change our state's future. If you are here today because you believe in democracy, if you are here today because you believe the voice of the people is the ultimate power in America, join us. Take the energy you feel and use it to make a concrete difference. Help Respect Missouri Voters get this amendment on the ballot before it's too late. You can do it by looking for someone in a yellow shirt like I'm wearing and sign our petition. If you've already signed up, visit our respectmovoters.org website and sign up to help gather signatures. We'll train you, give you the supplies you need right away, and set you up with great places to gather. If standing and gathering isn't for you, we also need volunteers for virtual phone banking, which you can do from home. Now, if you want to help but you don't feel like you can afford to volunteer, consider applying to work for Respect Missouri Voters. We have now raised enough funding to hire some paid signature gatherers. If you want a short-term, well-paying job doing something that actually matters, go check out our website to learn more. Now, this campaign is about all of us working together in whatever ways we can to defend Missourians' power to stand up and say, we decide. I'm going to end on the question I started with. Are you tired of politicians trying to take away your power? Yes! Me too. I'll go sign the petition and join the fight. Thank you.
Gary is an interesting guy. He's a labor leader, an elected officer of the United Auto Workers, the UAW. I believe that the chant goes something like, union proud.
Union loud!
Union proud.
Union loud!
There we go. He's in Local 249. He represents more than 10,000 workers in the Kansas City area, including employees at the Ford Kansas City Assembly Plant in Clay Como. In his role, he strengthens collective bargaining, advocating for fair wages and workplaces, and advanced economic dignity for working families. He has also been active in building solidarity between labor and community groups, emphasizing the important role of unions that protect protecting workers' rights and strengthening in local communities.
Thank you, thank you. My name's Gary Thomas, and for the boss, I identify as a fucking problem. Brothers, sisters, siblings, let's get something straight right now. Working people did not crawl. We did not beg. And we sure as hell did not kneel our way to whatever rights we have. Every inch of dignity we've ever had was taken from people who thought they ruled us. That's why we're here. Because working people do not accept unchecked power. Unchecked power is exploitation. Unchecked power is abuse. Unchecked power is tyranny, whether it shows up in a boardroom, a government office, or behind a microphone wrapped in a flag. On the job, when one person holds all the power, that's exploitation. When they silence workers, that's abuse. When they punish the dissent, that's tyranny. And we don't tolerate it at work. So we're not tolerating it in our country. Authoritarians love to talk about order. You know what they mean by order? The sick die. The veterans stay forgotten. Women exist to fulfill their every whim. Workers stay quiet. Unions stay weak. Votes only count when the right people win. That's not order. That's control. And every working person knows how exactly that ends. Longer hours, lower pay, less safety, and zero say. They want a country run like the worst kind of shop floor. No voice, no vote, no recourse. We say absolutely not. Unions still exist for one reason: to limit power. To make sure no boss, no leader, no executive gets to rule by decree. To make sure decisions are negotiated, not dictated. To make sure leadership answers to the people who do the work. Democracy is the same fight, same principle, same enemy. Any system that concentrates power at the top is a threat to working people. It doesn't matter if it wears a suit, a uniform, or calls itself patriotic. We've seen this playbook before. They divide the workers against each other. They blame immigrants. They attack unions. They call protest disorder. They call dissent un-American. They demand loyalty. Working people don't swear loyalty to individuals. We swear loyalty to each other. Solidarity is the opposite of domination. Solidarity says no one rules alone. Solidarity says power is shared or it's illegitimate. That's why unions are always targeted first. Because once workers learn they have power, they stop asking for permission. And that terrifies those who rely on fear and obedience. Let me be clear. We're not asking for democracy. We're demanding it. We are asserting it. We are asserting our right to vote, our right to organize, and our right to speak. Our right to challenge authority without fear of retaliation. Because freedom isn't something that's handed down. It's something enforced by participation. Working people built this country. Working people run this country. Working people sacrifice for this country. Working people die for this country. And working people will defend this country from anyone who believes power should be concentrated at the top. We don't need saviors. We don't need strong men. We need more working people. We need organized workers, engaged citizens, and the courage to stand together to say enough. So brothers, sisters, siblings, stand tall. stand firm, speak loud. Even if your voice shakes, scream. Go on above the people, go on beyond accountability. Only solidarity, only democracy, only power to the working people. Thank you.
She is a lifelong resident, a former educator, an elected member of the local school board, the lead plaintiff in that case, Luther versus Thompson. We're not going to talk about him. He's not fun. She went before the Supreme Court on March 12th. As a state representative, she will put the people first, prioritize policies to help Missourians live a life that they can afford. How many of y'all are having trouble affording things? I'm a coffee fiend, and it went up $6 since 2024. I'm not happy about it. Okay, so she's going to help us create the future we deserve. And I don't know if you want the microphone in the stand or if you want it in your hand. Which one? All right, well, I'm going to hand the microphone over to Suzanne, the boss. Thank you.
As you may have heard, the court case didn't go the right way, and I was very disappointed in the results of that, but I don't feel disappointed right now. I'm not wallowing in disappointment. I feel hopeful. I feel hopeful because I think the kingdom is shaky. I think it's shaky because we have community. I look out here and I see all of you and I feel hopeful. And that kingdom is shaky because when something happens like a tornado, or in this case, absolutely everything you care for is at stake, we come together and we get things done. And when I say everything is at stake, that's not hyperbole, that's not oversimplification. Everything we love, we care about, we count on is at stake right now.
That's right.
And when I see all of you here, and when I knock on doors, and when I talk to my neighbors, I feel hope. And I'm not going to take up a lot of time because this is so simple. And I'm not quite a rally, I'm not a former cheerleader, but I am so ready to get this done. To work with you all. Let's go!
So one of the people that follows us, and we follow him, is Tony Michaels. He is the host of his own podcast. So remember, Tony Michaels. He is the founder of the Kaufman Chronicle, an independent media platform focused on holding power accountable and engaging everyday Americans in the fight to protect democracy. We need that every day. Through his commentary and reporting, he breaks down complex political issues and clear, direct conversations that empower people to stay informed and take action. He joins us today to remind us that democracy depends on active participation and that there are no kings in America, and only we the people. So without further ado, Tony Michaels, you're gonna get us all fired up. Wait, fired up!
This is a hell of a crowd. Give yourselves a hand. Look at all of you here on the steps of the Capitol. need that here in a minute. Behind you, there is a statue right there, standing at this Capitol in front of the door. It is Thomas Jefferson. 13 feet tall, cast in bronze, placed here for a reason. Because Jefferson doesn't just represent the past, he stands guard at the door of democracy. And today, that door is under pressure. Not from outside enemies, but from people inside our own system, who think that power belongs to them instead of you. They want control without accountability. They want authority without consent. They want you tired. They want you quiet. They want you to believe there's nothing you can do. But Jefferson didn't write the Declaration for spectators, no. He wrote it for people willing to stand up. Because here's the truth. Jefferson may be standing at that door, but he's not the one guarding democracy anymore. You are. Every person on these steps, you are the line between democracy and something far more dangerous. There are no kings in America, no throne, no crown, no ruler above the will of the people, only we the people. And if anyone tries to act like a king, it is your duty to remind them exactly where they are. Jefferson warned us. He once said, "The price of liberty is internal vigilance." That doesn't mean watching from the sidelines. It means showing up, speaking out like today, refusing to hand over your power. So I'm asking you, if you believe in democracy, make some noise.
You